So a couple days ago, I got Sniper Elite 3 to see if I can have some fun with it while I wait for Dark Souls 3 The Fire Fates edition to come out, and I fucking hated it. I quit within an hour of playing and now I have some time to kill, so I figure I give this video making thing a try. Speaking from memory, Sniper Elite 1 was very good and tightly designed for its time. It had impressive bullet ballistics and it was fun using traps like tripwire bombs, although if I replayed it today it might feel a bit dated. The second game had a big selling point of going into bullet time and seeing the internal damage your projectiles do, but the third game can't really fall back to that. B2 was already starting to feel a bit dragged out and boring to me, so Sniper Elite 3 would have to do something pretty good to be worth playing. It doesn't. Okay, so I wasn't really planning on doing this video, and therefore I haven't recorded any gameplay, and I'm not gonna waste any storage space or time playing this game again, so I'm just gonna do some shit illustrations with all the quality standards of Mass Effect Andromeda. And BT dubs, if you say I don't have a right to judge the game with such a limited playtime, you have a significant disadvantage of not being me. And speaking of judging by the cover, that's a stellar icon, isn't it? I guess they blew all their creativity juice of naming the previous game Sniper Elite V2. Okay, starting the game, got thrown into the tutorial mission, and nothing's really wrong with it. Didn't do anything new compared to V2, but that's fine, it's just a tutorial. It sets a decent tone for the rest of the game. Or so I thought. First real mission starts and it puts me in a good sniping position with some target practice. There's a generator providing noise to mask my gunshots, but in retrospect it just makes me wait between taking shots for no reason. I do my objective and start to move crouching toward my next objective. And at one point I got bored of this, so I stood up and ran, which immediately alerted the guard in the area. Fair enough, right? Well, here's the thing. There wasn't really a difference between the level of noise I make by crouching and by running, which makes me think the only thing determining whether or not I'm hurt is a Boolean variable. That just breaks my immersion, especially when I might as well be doing the Koza truck right behind the Nazi. Moving on, I get to a sniper's nest and take out a guy in it, but much to my dismay, his dead body falls out and falls right next to his body. My dismay turned into disappointment though, since he seems to treat it the same way as Skyrim Bandit treats an arrow in her skull. I know other games are guilty of this as well, but you think a game based around stealth would give him a little more time on alert. Whatever, I shoot some guys, complete my objective, but now things start to get really annoying. First I noticed that some rocks were randomly appearing not too far from me, and I figured it's just the terrain loading in. But then they start disappearing, and reappearing. Then I figure out that depending on my camera position, the game decided to render the rocks behind the one I was. It can't even figure out what I can see and what I can't. And I was playing on Ultra! I get behind enemy lines and see a Nazi leaning on a waist-high wall, so I formulate a plan to get behind him and perform a stealth takedown. But I was disappointed when I found that I was unable to. I adjusted my plan to using my Weber, but when I tried to aim, I emerged from cover and stood up right next to my victim. However, he didn't see me. And I still couldn't aim at him because cover shooting limits your turn angle. After performing a quick medical examination on the Nazi, I concluded that he has no peripheral vision and administered the medicine. Then I remembered I'm not a doctor, so now I had to hide his lifeless corpse. This was when I found out you couldn't crouch while carrying bodies, and I was hurt by another soldier who came around the corner and started shooting. After making sure his eyes weren't playing tricks on him for 1.5 seconds, another 1.5 seconds to yell how he and his dead comrade had me surrounded, and another second aiming. Giving a player a brief moment between when he's spotted and when the alert goes up is one thing, but this was way too much, especially because I was playing on hard difficulty. I tried again, and this time I walked while carrying the body, so I'm not hurt. And it turns out you can't silently put the body down if there's so much as a pebble in front of you, so I had to look for a nice comfy place for 8 seconds to set this guy down. A little later, I moved in to shoot a Nazi on the other side of a pillar, but as I was getting into position he started to notice me, and I couldn't see him. It was at this moment I realized that I can't switch the shoulder I'm aiming from. And I was starting to get a little bit ticked off by now. I finally rage quit after performing a stealth kill, and got spotted by a Nazi who was hiding literally inside the guy I just killed. Well, fuck you too, Sniper Elite 3, and fuck this, the Fire Fates is out.